So, good evening, Tajaha, Amitofo. Okay, I would like to connect it to this, our studies, some of the words. I would like to explain some words from my understanding, according to my level of understanding. Some words, if I explain maybe later, easier for us to go through the text. There are like a word, yeshe. Yeshe is often translated wisdom. In Sanskrit, I think it's jnana, jnana. But then there is jnana also. I don't know. There's spelling may be different. We say jhana like this something means jhana is a meditation, jhana for jhana like level. That's one jhana, but there's a prajna jhana, that is another jhana. I think it may be spelling different. Anyway, that's wisdom jhana. Here in Tibetan, yeshe. For example, like yeshe, yeah. So yeshe, whenever Tibetan yeshe means actually wisdom, no, not really wisdom exactly. Yeshe is awakened mind. Awakened mind, that is awakened. Mind that is free from ignorance. So that yeshe, if yeshe, that is mind, that is Buddha nature, yeah, mind. But Buddha nature is become pure. At least half pure, the Bodhisattva's Buddha nature is half pure, right? Half purified. Anyway, yeshe is awakened mind. That is if yeshe, then a person, the being that possesses yeshe has to be Arya, that means like Arhat, Bodhisattva, or Buddha. Their mind is yeshe, yeah. But the normal people cannot have yeshe. Normal people, wisdom is called sherap in Tibetan. Yeah. Anyway, yeshe, there's a yeshe, yeah, yeshe, wisdom. That's why in English they translated primordial wisdom or something like that, or discriminating wisdom, because they are always the closest word they can translate is wisdom, jhana. So I wanted to explain that that one. Yeshe. Then there are two types of yeshe. Yeshe. Is there anybody's name is yeshe?
Ada namanya yeshe?
Somebody say yeshe. Ada. Oh, there's yeshe one. Yeshe what? Yeshe Nimbo. Oh, okay. It sounds like from me. Yeah. I choose Yeshe Nimbo. Maybe not many people call Yeshe Nimbo. I choose the people's name. Something is not too strange, but also not too common. Like you Google, there's so many Yeshe Nimbo, and like that. Okay. So Yeshe is many people has name like Yeshe. Anyway, Yeshe is Buddha's awakened mind. Yeah? That awakened mind has two levels, or two types, or two aspects of awakened mind. Buddha possess. Also Sangha possess. Sangha. Later, the reason I'm explaining Yeshe is later they explains what is Sangha. That time the Sangha possess two kind of knowledge, two different types of Yeshe. Yeah, that's the reason I'm explaining. Yeshe is Yeshe has two aspects. Yeshe, that awakened mind, that wisdom, discriminating wisdom, whatever they call. So yeshe, two types, two aspects. One is that Buddha sees reality, true nature, reality, clearly as it is. And we don't see reality, true nature as it is. We see reality, true nature as something else, different. We are like we are when we see a piece of maybe this stick, this stick we see in the grass. Maybe we see this stick is maybe snack, and then scare. Then we see it, but the Buddha see like it's a stick, exactly what it, not confused. So what it is saying, Buddha sees things, especially not like relative as well, but the ultimate reality as exactly as it is. Then seeing the true nature as it is. That aspect is one aspect of yeshe. Yeshe, Chittawa Chimbi Yeshe in Tibetan. You don't have to memorize this Tibetan word, but I'm just going to say it. Somebody later, if some people knows Tibetan. Chittawa Chimbi Yeshe is a Yeshe, that mind knows exactly what it is, in a true nature aspect, reality. Then there's a Jinyeba Chimbi Yeshe, means second aspect is Buddha sees not exactly what it is, but also quantity, like everything. Not only one that knows exactly what it is, but then there are many phenomena, right? Phenomena, many, all different kind of things there. So the quantity, I think there are two aspects. One is like a quality aspect. You know exactly what it is. And then the next one is more quantity aspect. You know how, like all of them, infinite of them. So we're especially talking about this is Buddha nature. So that Sangha, who is a person like you yourself practice Dharma practice, meditation and so on, and then somehow you later you realize your own true nature of your mind. You realize your directly, not intellectual. Intellectual is just kind of a mathematic kind of imagination, right? Not like that, but directly, actually experience, directly seeing without words and without imagination. Actually see it. When I see this stick, I don't have to use a reason or any kind of intellectual understanding. I just see it and then I see it, right? So this is called directly see, directly realizing. So when you meditate and then you somehow through meditation you see your nature of mind, directly experience, and then as it is, true nature, then that is one aspect of yeshe. And then that time also you not only your own true nature of mind, but you also see the rest of human, not only human, but all the sentient beings. They possess this same quality, same Buddha nature, or same kind of mind, that exactly the same, nature, nature, reality, same. They possess the same thing. So you see all of them. Then that is second type of the yeshe, I think, this enlightenment mind. Yeah. Chittawa chimbi yeshe, jinyimba chimbi yeshe. Oh, next word I wanted to explain a little bit is, but the next word is dipa. Dipa. Dipa is like D-R-I-B-P-A. Dripa. Yeah. Dripa is here translated veil or obscuration. Obscuration, veil. We hear a lot. People, when Dharma talk, people talk about Dharma. Dharma teachings, veil or obscuration or defilement, like that. Why we are not enlightened? Because we have obscuration, defilement. Like that in Tibetan is called dipa. That dipa has sometimes, generally two, sometimes even more, 3, 4 like that. But generally like two, dipa, two dipa, sheje dipa, nyomobi dipa. That is veil. Sometimes they translate it like a veil, cognate, the klesha veil, and then klesha veil and the cognitive veil. Klesha veil. Veil is one that obscures our nature of mind, our enlightenment nature. We are in such in reality, true reality. We are enlightened, or we have enlightenment nature, but there which is obscured, then we experience samsara. So what is that obscuration? Is obscuration, that veil. Is one is called klesha, such like attachment, anger, and so on. That 5 poisons, right? Those are things. Those are the klesha, veil of klesha. Klesha make us cannot see it. That is quite clear. Actually, when we angry, we see things different, right? Even in mundane, we are not talking about. But when we are attached to something, we also see different, right? That doesn't mean there is some kind of cover, like some kind of cover there coming in front of us. But because of our attitude, kind of the viewing, the way we view things, and then see when there's attachment, then our mind is obscured. We don't see the reality, but we see something different. And when we are angry, and also we don't see the reality, but we see something different, right? And when we are jealous, also we see the different. And when we are proud, we see different. Then root of all of that is when we are ignorance, means we don't really know what it is, reality. So ignorance. Then of course we don't see the reality, but we see somehow it is totally different. So that's why it's become obscured. And now that is outside, like other easy way. But then you turn that inside of ourself, and then ourself, true nature of ourself, totally we are. So there's attachment, anger, jealousy, pride, and then ignorance. All that is there, and then see oneself is we cannot see one's true nature. We see oneself is something else, and that is already confused. So that is the first aspect of defilement. Then we don't see our own Buddha nature because of that. And then the second aspect of Dipa is Sheje Dipa. That is English translated like cognitive obscuration. First one, that obscuration, that klesha obscuration, actually that creates karma. That creates karma. Karma creates then suffering, and like that creates samsara. Okay, not only samsara, but the low rebirth and suffering. And the second aspect is not about this attachment and anger, all that, but there is still, even we don't have all this attachment and anger, but still there is obscuration, that cognitive, our awareness. We are not awakened. We're not awakened. Our mind is not awakened. Our mind is not capable to see true nature, there is some kind of a grasping, some kind of a way, some kind of a view or attitude, the way we view things is differently. So we cannot see true reality. That is a cognitive obscuration. It's more subtle and more difficult to clean up. First, we actually in like a gradual practice. First, klesha obscurations clean up and become free from klesha obscuration. And later, even like later, very last moment when Buddha become enlightenment, complete enlightenment, Buddha sit in samadhi meditation called Vajra like samadhi, undestructible samadhi. That time they destroys the most subtle obscuration of that cognitive obscuration, and then next minute is completely awakened, samyaka sambuddha, like that. So anyway, these are the two obscuration. There's a two obscuration, klesha obscuration and cognitive obscuration, and that two obscuration obscured our Buddha nature, Vajra like Buddha nature, obscured, so we don't see the reality of Buddha nature, and then we see something else obscured, right? Then that's creates, we see samsara, we experience samsara, but then this Buddha nature still not changed. But then when we get enlightenment, then true reality as whatever the Buddha nature it is, then it's revealed, then it's seeing directly revealed, then there's a in order to see Buddha nature, so we have to free from these two obscurations, klesha obscuration and then cognitive obscuration. Yeah. So that to become free from these two obscurations, quite a long process. Yeah. We can imagine, quite a long process. Yeah, that's why maybe sometimes people imagine expecting, if I can get enlightenment, meditating like a few minutes, 3 minutes, if enlightenment is coming like that, somewhere coming from there or here, or some kind of a light shooting forth, and then, or some kind of Buddha or something appeared, and suddenly, oh, I'm enlightened. Like, never thinking of the going this process, right? You have these two obscuration, how you can expect, enlightenment? These two obscuration is a process is quite long to remove, But the good news is these two obscurations are not part of our true nature. Not part of true nature. This is something temporarily came there, temporary. That's why it's called advantageous defilement. Advantageous means something that only temporary, removable. It's not part of the nature. So that's good news. And then our true reality, nature is Buddha nature. Very good news. One good news and two bad news. These two veils, called advantageous mental stain. Advantageous mental stain. This is stain like this. Last time I mentioned this wet cloth is we put in mud, then it will be dirty, right? Then we don't see it's not possible to see nature of the white clean cloth. So we will see it, mud color cloth. But the mud color cloth still is somehow look like a similar, it's similar. It's a cloth, not totally different somehow, but it's similar but Different, similar, somehow similar, right? Then because it's different because it has this mud covered. This mud, this is called a stain. Yeah? Stain is obscuration. This obscuration is not nature of the cloth. So it's a temporary thing. If you wash it in a process, maybe process of a wash need effort and need some time. But then good thing is removable. Once it's removed, then cloth is it reveals its true nature. It's this white cloth. So then that is free from this stain. So similar like that, our mind, nature mind, right now, because of this mud like stain, is covered. What are the stain? That are two, yeah? Klesha obscuration and cognitive obscuration, right? This two is covered, our mind. And so that, that too become obstacle for us to see our own true Buddha nature here. So that's why instead of experiencing seeing Buddha nature, we see and experience samsara. Yeah. And but still we have we experience something similar to Buddhahood still right now. We have like this 5 klesha. Buddha has 5 wisdom, right? And and then we have this mind. Buddha have awakened mind, right? And then and so on. This still is this. We have like 3 aspects of ourselves. When sometimes you look into mirror like, oh, I'm getting fat, I'm losing, or I'm getting younger. You say I'm getting younger, I'm getting skinny. The most of the time you say I'm getting older. So that is a physical aspect. You're referring yourself physical, right? Sometimes you say, sometimes you say it like I'm saying it means you're. Actually, I think you are kind of referring to your, speech, verbal speech aspect. It's part of like speech. Is part. You're referring yourself as like speech. Sometimes you say I think, right? I think. Then you're referring yourself as mind. So like you have 3 aspects of yourself: body, mind, speech, like that, right? And then when you attain Buddha nature, complete Buddhahood, also you have then 3 aspects: Dharma kaya, and then Sambhuka kaya, and then Nirmana kaya. So it's similar, this is immersed into mud. Still it has like a flexible nature, it's one piece and so on, Many things are similar, right? That's why it's called, so when it's with a stain, with a stain, it's not washed, then we call it Buddha nature. Buddha nature. This white scarf is become Buddha nature. Yeah. When it's totally the stains are washed, then we call it Dharmakaya. Dharmakaya. Yeah. But whether this is washed or whether this is with a stain or whether it's stainless, that its nature is in a nature aspect. We forget about this mud part, whether it's clean or it's dirty, it's its own reality aspect. We call it Dhamma Dhatu. Dhamma Dhatu, yeah. The Dharma Dhatu. So what it means when your Buddha nature is whether right now we have Buddha nature, but it's we cannot experience because it's stain of our obscuration covered. So we cannot, but then later when we become free from obscuration, then we experience Dhammakaya, the real Buddha nature. Either way, when we are not free from obscuration, when we are free from obscuration, both like Buddha nature, Dhammakaya, all that is called reality. Dhammadhatu means suchness, true reality of. So what I'm trying to say is there's two words. Sometimes you see Dhammakaya, sometimes you see Dhammadhatu. So Dhammakaya is sometimes is like more like object aspect. Yeah. No, subject. Dhammakaya is subject that awakened mind. Yeah. Dhammadhatu is the reality, true reality, more object aspect. But again, in Buddha, when you are awakened, there is no different subject and object. There are no two things. Duality, subject and object is duality, right? But when we anyway say Dhammadhatu and Dhammakaya, almost similar, but a little bit of a kind of a subject aspect and object aspect. I think my understanding is something different, a little bit like that. So these are some words here you see that I wanted to explain a little bit. Okay, so sometimes we say, oh, there's Dhamma teachings teach all that, but then what is the solution? What is the solution? So not only solution, but the best kind of solution to how we can get enlightenment very soon. And what is the solution to remove this two deeper defilements? This is just connected. I remember I think Ujjemba, one of Mahasiddha, great master, enlightened master, said that when meditating Mahamudra meditation, well, you're properly meditating on Mahamudra meditation, that is almost like a machine, kind of machine that removing the two obscurations. Yeah, that is the main like a processing of the two obscurations, removing when you meditate in a Mahamudra meditation. And then next they ask, what is Mahamudra meditation? Mahamudra meditation is simply practicing 6 dharmas of Tilopa or something like that. But then, so how we do Mahamudra meditation? Where we begin? Then we begin with preliminary, the Sumundra practices. Yeah. So that is just a connected thing I'm going to throw. I'm going to share with you, not throw on you. No, you have to Ngondra practice. And the Ngondra is the whole thing, right? This one is only prostration. Okay, so actually today's topic is what we are studying is 3 jewels, and especially among the 3 jewels, the first 3 Vajra points, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. And Buddha and Dhamma, we learn about Buddha and Dhamma last night, and then today is Sangha. Yeah, Sangha. Those are the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, the 3 jewels. And generally, when we say Buddha, then Buddha is we go refuge to Buddha, right? We go refuge to Buddha means generally one general aspect is Buddha, the external enlightened being, that we follow his teachings. So follow his teachings, then we can achieve this yeshe, that enlightenment wisdom. And also we rely on as make offerings and do namaskara and so on to Buddha for, we use Buddha as a object of accumulative merit. Or we use Buddha as an object of purification. We or the support of, and then also Buddha blessed, and Buddha as a protector, external Buddha. So that is what we call it. Going refuge. Going refuge means Buddha guide us, and the Buddha bless us, and the Buddha protect us, and the Buddha purify our bad karma and so on. So we go refuge to Buddha. That's a general aspect. But then particular, special, real, I think let's call it a real going refuge to Buddha, more kind of ultimate aspect. Going refuge to Buddha means then yourself become Buddha. Yourself become Buddha, you achieve that Dhammakaya, then this Dhammakaya is your ultimate refuge. Ultimate refuge and forever refuge. Then that is yourself become Dhammakaya. You achieve Dhammakaya, right? At that time yourself become Buddha. Dharma is also generally Dharma is the scriptures, Buddha's teachings, and so as we go refuge, or we follow Dharma, and we follow and practice Buddha's teachings, and then we get protected from suffering and suffering and klesha. So that is Dharma, but here Dharma, the scriptures. But then another aspect of Dharma is actually real Dharma. Yeah, real Dharma is the wisdom, that yeshe wisdom. Wisdom, when you practice follow the scriptures and then practice it, and then you gain wisdom. Or another way to say is your Buddha nature become more clear, clearer and clearer. Then it's wisdom. Wisdom is actually not something that newly created. It's more ultimately actually there, but then when obscuration removed, then wisdom more clear, become clear, right? Wisdom is already there. That's the yeshe. That's why yeshe, ye means primordial. She is, I think, she is like wisdom. That's why it's a primordial wisdom. Wisdom is already there. We don't have to create wisdom, but the problem is our wisdom is obscured. So when we remove the obscuration, and then wisdom reveals there, this comes out, So when you gain that wisdom, that wisdom is the real Dharma. That's why we go refuge to Dharma. Make more sense, right? Go refuge to this wisdom. That wisdom can be Buddha's wisdom, externally Buddha, Bodhisattva, Arhat's wisdom, or our own, practitioners, our own wisdom. So we go refuge to Dhamma. Other than that, usually we think go refuge to Buddha, then like a statue, Statue, stone cannot do anything here. And then when we go refuge to Dhamma, then book. And then a book and the statue together with then one monk. And these three, monk maybe, monk there can be Arhat and Bodhisattvas as well. But if monk is not Arhat Bodhisattva or something, only just wearing a robe, but of course he has Vinaya, discipline follow, but still an ordinary person, not enlightened. Then with a piece of stone and a piece of paper, and an ordinary person, how we can go to refuge for free from samsara? That's actually is cannot. But I don't mean these three are not, but these three are just represent Buddha Rupang. We don't mean We know this Buddha statue doesn't drink water, right? But we offer water. Why? But statue is just for us to help us to feel the Buddha's presence there. Buddha's presence. So we know statue is not Buddha. We know statue is just a stone. But we are offering, making offering is we are offering to real Buddha. And Dharma is again this book. Book is the way to communicate. It represents wisdom, but itself is not a wisdom because it's matter. Wisdom is mind, right? Mind and matter. This is just matter. This is a thing, right? Think. Then it cannot be called refuge to a thing. But this again, this represents, remembers the wisdom. And then Sangha. Here now Sangha is the real subject. Now we are going to study today.
Baik, jadi
the third Vajra point, Sangha, is on page 108. So this mind being by nature clear light, they have seen the poisons to be essenceless, and so on. This you can read the root text, one stanza, and then you can read the whole commentary on there. And then if you don't understand the first stanza, then the second stanza explains, makes more clear about the first stanza like that.
Jadi bab Sangga ada pada halaman 108. Ya di sini bagian hitam yang dicetak tebal hitam itu adalah teks akarnya. Di situ dikatakan batin yang pada dasarnya adalah cahaya yang jernih. Mereka telah melihat racun-racun itu menjadi tanpa esensi dan sebagainya bisa dilihat di terjemahan kertas fotokopi ya. Jadi baris yang pertama jika kita membaca dan kita merasa kurang jelas itu dijelaskan kembali dalam baris yang kedua. Kalau baris kedua masih kurang jelas dijelaskan kembali dalam baris ketiga. Kalau semua masih kurang jelas bisa dibaca di kitab komentarnya, di situ kita bisa baca semua.
Okay, so in a brief meaning is here mentioned. Sangha has two qualities. Sangha means has those who has these two qualities. The Sangha. What are the two qualities? Yeshe. They have two aspects of a yeshe. Yeshe, that primordial wisdom, which understands, which sees true nature of one's true nature of mind, sees directly. One serves the true nature of mind, and also at the same time also many other sentient beings has the same this Buddha nature, true nature of mind, that sees that directly, not intellectual, not logically. Logically, we can also imagine right now studying book, but this Sangha is directly seeing, actually realizing without words and without conceptual analysis or intellectual kind of thoughts, but just really directly seeing that true reality of oneself and others. So that is a true aspect of that kind of a yeshe who possess. Then they're still not yet completely Buddha, not enlightened completely, but some like they have different levels also Sangha themselves achievement, but somehow in the middle their Buddha nature is quite halfway purified. So they're the Sangha, and Sangha that non-returner. Non-returner means Sangha that they already free themselves from samsara. They don't return back to samsara. Non-returner means they don't return reborn samsara by their karma control. But some bodhisattvas, they return to samsara by intentionally, right? For help sentient beings. That's a different thing. This following continue the following verses. This explains what is the first aspect of that yeshe, and what is the actually second aspect of yeshe. Yeah, continue explain. Realizing beings in their state of peace, the noble ones know correctly, for the mind is by nature utterly pure, and the poisons were always existed. Yeah, that is first aspect of yeshe, and then second aspect, their understanding which realizes the knowledge, and that is I try to explain from my own my way. I already did. Yeah, I'm not going to say again, but that is the second aspect of yeshe. You can read here. Yeah, and then this page 111. Continue the jitji. And then also Sangha that has purified. That purified. How it's purified? Explained wisdom. Yeah, how it's got the pure senses, the undefiled experience. Yeah, it's Sangha. Because of gaining these two yeshe, then because of yeshe, that wisdom, they then free from two obscurations. I said the klesha obscuration, right? And then cognitive obscuration. Yeah, klesha obscuration is like if I see this stick, if this stick, then somebody tell me this is agavut, and then it's very expensive, then I become attachment, I see this stick is shining and a very, wonderful thing, and maybe even in the dream comes, and then I want to possess this stick, so expensive and things like that. So that is already, I don't see really it's a stick, something different, and then it's not, instead of stick, I see it's a wish fulfilling jewel, so something already obscured. And that is because my attachment to stick, maybe, yeah. But if I don't have this attachment, still I see this stick, original stick. I don't see it's a stick's true nature, impermanent. And even deeper than impermanent, the stick itself is not truly existed, actually. It's only 5 elements come together, something like my eyes and the space and everything comes together, make me see like stick, Is even deeper is like an emptiness of the reality of the stick, right? I don't see it. So what I'm trying to say is, when I see stick and then I have attachment to stick and then I see something different, that is a klesha aspect of attachment, the obscuration, yeah. But then later part, I don't see the reality of a stick, like emptiness is the reality of a stick, right? That is another, the cognitive obscuration. Yeah, that is not klesha, but is that doesn't create a bad karma, But that doesn't create a bad karma. But the klesha then it creates a bad karma. This doesn't create a bad karma, but this keeps us in samsara, keeps us not awakened, keeps us not become Buddha. So that is cognitive obscuration. These two obscurations, they're free. They possess two yeshe. They become free of, not totally free, but halfway or more or less, up there, quite free, become free from these obscurations. Then these are the qualities of the Sangha. Yeah, he mentioned. Pure means like becoming these two obscurations, free from two obscurations.
Baik, jadi kita masuk ke buku yang halaman.
Okay, then page 112, top there's one last verse, last stanza about Sangha. About Sangha, yeah. It says, so that's why Sangha, this Arya Sangha means non-returning kind of this Arya Sangha, Sangha who achieved, person who achieved this kind of yeshe wisdom is considered Sangha, and this Sangha is superior Sangha that is completely worth and how to say reliable refuge. Then we go refuge to this Sangha so they can help us to be free from suffering of this life, next lifetime, and samsara. This book may be missing one stanza somewhere. First, second stanza is missing, I think.
I don't know.
Huh?
Because we're not the same.
Not same, yeah.
Mine is not same.
Yours must be correct, original. This one copied somewhere. One is missing. Yeah, later you check, yeah. Later somebody check. Okay, so okay. Now after that the three refuges, yeah. Then after this stanza explains why there are three refuge, yeah. Why three, you know, three jewels, three refuge. Why three refuge? Because of Buddha, mainly people who who has inclination to serve, kind of interested in Buddha. I think like maybe simple word to say like that. For then Buddha, and also in order to people to understand the quality of Buddha, so then Buddha, and then especially for people who follow, when understand the Buddha, quality of Buddha or what is Buddha, and then they themselves wanted to achieve that Buddhahood. They're the Mahayana kind of Mahayana kind of people, you know. For that reason, there's Buddha. And then people who has more kind of with study Dharma and to rely on Dharma, and through the Dharma they achieve also these wisdoms, Partiyaka Buddha. And there are people who more wanted to focus on the Dharma. For that, those people, and also for in order to understand the quality of Dharma, then mentioned Dharma. Then Sangha, people who more they rely on Sangha, and then learn from Sangha, and then to achieve this result, that wisdom, what achieved Sangha, then kind of and also the Shravaka, more like a Shravaka kind of people, then mentioned Sangha. This is so Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. Three. The reason why three is interpretive meaning, kind of how to say, some because of some purpose, some special reason, mentioned three. But the ultimate refuge, really ultimate refuge is only Buddha, not Dhamma, not Sangha. Only Buddha is the ultimate refuge. Real refuge and ultimate refuge is the only Buddha, it says. But then from Dharma and the Sangha is relative refuge from because Dharma has this scriptures this scriptures and the status, Dharma, right? These are like a boat. Boat means boat, right? Boat. When we cross a river, right? After cross a river, you don't want a boat anymore. You don't want to carry boat on your, shoulder. You just leave it there because after cross the river, no use unless you want to return. You don't want to return to samsara, right? After cross the boat, then cross the river, then the boat no need anymore. Similar like the Dharma is a certain level to cross. Then you need Dharma, but after certain level cross, this type of Dharma you don't need anymore. Then you need a higher level Dharma. Then this level Dharma is you used and cross this kind of level, and then you progress, update it, and then lesser one you don't need anymore. So in that sense, Dharma is not ultimate refuge. This is the Dharma, scripture aspect of Dharma, and then this path aspect. Then the cessation aspect of Dharma. Last night we said path and cessation, right? Cessation aspect of Dharma is also not ultimate because cessation is something like a nirvana, the kind of like a peaceful kind of nothingness state like that is also not really ultimate refuge because it's also kind of an interpretive meaning, relative meaning there, but not achieved complete samyaka, some Buddhahood. So that also somehow then not become ultimate refuge. And the Sangha is the oneself is also not yet completely enlightened and not ultimate refuge. One Sangha himself or herself still have to go to refuge to Buddha. So Sangha is not ultimate refuge. And only the Buddha is ultimate refuge. Means yourself become Buddha. Yourself achieve Buddha nature. Yourself become Dhammakaya, You achieve Dhammakaya. Then that is ultimate refuge. When you achieve Dharmakaya, then actually essence of Dhamma is there. Dhamma is also included. Dhamma, real Dhamma is what? Cessation, right? Cessation. Cessation is real peaceful and enlightenment, the reality, enlightenment nature, peaceful state. That is cessation, is Dhammakaya. And then a Sangha, also all Sangha, and then a kind of a destination, right? The destination of all Sangha, eventually they have to achieve Buddhahood. So then the Sangha also becomes Buddha, right? So when Buddha is also it's essence of Sangha and Dhamma as well. So that's why ultimate refuge is only Buddha. See? Yeah. And but then this is an additional thing. I see somewhere else. I think not mentioned here, but I think I heard from some teachers, masters saying, for us beginners, Buddha is far. We cannot see Buddha. Ourselves not achieve Buddha, right? So real practical refuge is Dharma more. Dharma is very, how to say, direct refuge for beginners. Yeah. Because once of Buddha not yet achieved. Once you achieve Buddha, then ultimate refuge, but not yet achieved. And another external Buddha is also cannot see, far. And even see, then I think still no use. Even see Buddha, then we will maybe get bored, First we say, wow, Buddha like that. After a few minutes, I'm getting bored, what are you going to do with Buddha? Sophie.
So, so
First a few minutes in Buddha appeared, Sophie. Then after 5 minutes, what are you going to do? Then bored. Yeah, for beginners, the real refuge is more like real refuge, direct refuge is Dharma. That's it, yeah.
jadi untuk pemula ya
Buddha, ultimate refuge is Buddha, but having said that, for beginners, real refuge is Dharma. I think you did not translate that part.
I translate.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, real refuge is the Dharma.
Jadi untuk pemula ya, untuk pemula berlindung yang secara relatif ya adalah Dharma ya. Perlindungan yang sebenarnya adalah Dharma untuk pemula ya. Perlindungan sebenarnya untuk pemula adalah Dharma. Tetapi perlindungan yang sejati yang sebenarnya adalah Buddha.
Okay. This in Indian word called Retna, yeah. Retna is a Tibetan, translated in Tibetan, Konchok, rare and sublime, something like rare, sublime. Konchok is a Retna, which is in English, they translate jewel or gem, right? Jewel and gem. So why it's called in Indian, Retna, or the jewel, like we say 3 jewels, 3 Retna, same thing, yeah. Sometimes they translate 3 gem, same thing. Why we call it jewel, Retna? Because there's 6 reasons similar. They're similar to jewel, similar to wish-fulfilling jewel, which is rare. First thing, 3 jewels are very rare, and then they're stainless. They are free from jewel is usually clean, right? Clean, shining, and supposed to be like that, clear. Similar like this. 3 jewels, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, rare and stainless. Their jewel defilement is no defilement, obscuration, and they have power. Jewel has power to fulfill giving people's need, right? And the 3 Retna same have a power of protecting people from suffering and causes of suffering. Yeah. And then jewel is like an ornament. Next, so 3 jewels also ornament of the world, and they possess like possess knowledge and so they anyway they become like ornament. What are the Choni and the supreme and then reliable, then they are like stable, reliable. For if we go refuge, we have to go refuge. Something is reliable, right? Not people, orang. Even we cannot trust people, relatives. Even with parents or parents to children cannot go refuge. They are not reliable. Reliable for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 100 year cannot. After 100 years, they can change their mind, they can change body, they can, their life can be changed. Not reliable. And then the worldly gods and the other kind of spirit or whatever, none of them is reliable and stable refuge. But then the 3 jewels are the only reliable and rare and sublime, and then what are these? Unchanging, unchanging. They are unchanging. Refuge. So anyway, 6. There's 6 points. They are similar to the jewel, that's why it's called Triratna, yeah. Do you know what you don't know?
Apakah kita tahu apa yang kita tidak tahu?
Tahu lah. Most people, they don't know what they don't know. That's why we're stuck in a samsara. We don't know even what we don't know.
Jadi Rinpoche mengatakan banyak dari orang ya mereka tidak tahu apa yang mereka tidak tahu, karena itulah terjebak di dalam samsara.
Yeah, they think they know, but they don't know. So they don't know what they don't know. That's the biggest problem.
Jadi banyak orang yang mengira mereka tahu, padahal sebenarnya mereka tidak tahu. Ya, mereka tidak tahu apa yang mereka tidak tahu. Itu adalah masalah yang terbesar.
Today you sleep and think about that, yeah.
Tidur dan pikirkan hal itu.
No, you have questions? I think you don't have. Anybody don't have any questions?
Ada punya pertanyaan? Oh.
One question, everybody. We should celebrate, you know.
I would like to ask because you say that we are as a beginner of the practice of Dharma. What we are going to do, the biggest refugee for us, the tool is the Dharma, right? Mm-hmm. So mostly what we experience for Dharma is which one in Rinpoche point of view, which one is better? Because in the reality, there's mostly people are chanting about Dharma, like we call it some mantra, we are chanting, but actually we don't know about that one. Is that actually useful for us, or is it better if we are listening about Dharma and then more understand about Dharma? So because some people, we see that mostly they are chanting, but they actually maybe they don't know what actually they are chanting. That is something that is that useful for us as the we are the ordinary people.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and then maybe one more question is about Sangha. As I heard before that maybe we are not willing to come back to samsara. This example, we are coming to before because this is what we call samsara. But there are some bodhisattva or maybe some people which is in the high level, they have this kind of commitment and they have their determination to come back to samsara to help people. So we don't know whether they are reincarnated to maybe human or maybe this one. But in this nowadays, like there are some people call themselves as the alive, a Buddha alive. What's that called? Like
Living Buddha.
A living Buddha. Yeah, that's right. So this is what I would like to hear this kind of thing, the point of view from Buddha. This one. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you need to translate or no?
Later.
Question.
With the answer.
Oh, okay. With the answer. I think chanting. I think chanting. You said if it's useful, of course useful. Chanting is also useful, and also chanting depends on who is chanting. You know, doesn't mean chanting doesn't mean everybody doesn't understand. Some people chanting maybe can understand it, doing chanting with a deep meditation. Some people maybe without understanding chanting. Either way, I think it still is meaningful and useful. But having said that, still actually real process of doing that Dharma practice is first is hearing, right? Hearing means study. First you learn study, and then after that you hearing and contemplate means study, and then after that you practice, meditate. Meditate. So chanting is a part of also Buddhist chanting is a part of meditation, and so the real how to say more like a effective way is first study about what you are chanting, and at least you know what is the meaning of chanting and how to chant. While you are chanting, what to think, then I think it's good. Yeah. So anyway, Dharma first is study, and then the second is then after that is practice. Practice. So practice is including meditation and many different ways. Then the Bodhisattvas come back. Usually Bodhisattvas come back with the power of their aspiration, power of their compassion, come manifest into samsara in many different forms, sometimes human and many different other forms as well, I think, according to teachings and sutras. So, as for example, in a human form, even it can be like animal, Jataka stories, right? We have this Jataka Buddha before, Shakyamuni Buddha before become Buddha, then as a Bodhisattva manifest into many different forms, even sometimes like a rabbit, like a lion, and even a lion, sometimes. And stories like that, the Bodhisattvas manifest into the different form of lifestyles and helping other sentient beings from saving from suffering. Like that is not because of karma, but because of their aspiration and compassion. They come back. And then, but then when of course humans, they always sometimes we have a real one. Then there's naturally there's sometimes also a fake one as well, right? There's a real police, then a fake police, real monk and a fake monk, real how to say, real beggar and a fake beggar, even fake beggar. What does it mean? And so on. Something is real, there's fake one. Of course, so Bodhisattva living, Bodhisattva, so there's a real one is there. But of course, sometimes in a human, I don't know who is fake, who is real. But of course, people can, proclaim themselves they are not really Bodhisattvas, but then for different reasons they may proclaim like they are living Buddha, living Bodhisattva, like that also. That is possible. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah.